Okay, hello and welcome to week 6 of Education for Nepal English Group's history lesson. This week we are covering Greek and Rome 5, which is about the East and West Roman Empire. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel for the previous lessons in this series. So here is a brief timeline of the Roman Empire. Last week we got to the beginning of the Roman Empire, and this week we're covering the division of the Roman Empire at 395 AD, which led to the fall of the Western Roman Empire at 476 AD, and eventually the fall of the Eastern Roman Empire, or the Byzantine Empire, in 1453 AD. Here's a brief overview of Imperial Rome. The Roman state had endured a century of civil strife, which had also seen almost constant warfare abroad. After the establishment of the empire came 2 centuries of profound peace, broken only by frontier warfare. This state of peacefulness is known as the Roman peace or Pax Romana. During this period, arts and literature were prized and fostered, and civilization flourished. Responsible men held power in the provinces. The Mediterranean world became more and more one great nation. Roman citizenship was extended to all free men throughout the vast empire, and Roman law was administered in every court. Paved roads lead from one end of Italy to the other and into what are now France and Germany. Fragments of Roman roads still exist even in faraway Britain. Roman aqueducts and bridges are found in France, and Roman wells are found in the Egyptian oasis of the Sahara. Roman city planners achieved unprecedented standards of hygiene, with their plumbing, sewage disposal, dams, and aqueducts. The Romans' 50,000 miles of hard highway made possible Roman conquest and administration. The Roman road system also made it easier for long-distance commerce to flourish, and trade helped unify the empire. A stable currency aided economic growth. Here's a picture of the Pont du Gard, which is an ancient Roman aqueduct in France. And here is an image of a ancient Roman road in Portugal, and another image showing the structure of ancient Roman roads. Ancient Roman roads are built with many layers, which make them very sturdy. And the decline of the Roman Empire. From 180 to 284, the Senate recognized, The Senate recognized 27 men as emperors, with many others supported by the Roman legions, which is basically the Roman military, claiming to the title. The instability was finally stopped by the Emperor Diocletian, who ruled from 284 to 305, who restored efficient government to the empire after a period of war or near anarchy. Over the years, the Senate had progressively been deprived of its powers. Diocletian abolished the last of the Senate's privileges, creating a kind of absolute monarchy, which means the emperor has all the power. Diocletian also took the first step toward dividing the empire. He ruled the East and turned over the rule of the West to an associate. The city of Rome declined when Emperor Constantine I moved his capital to the Greek city of Byzantium, which is now Istanbul, Turkey. In 330, he renamed it Constantinople in his own honor. The last of Constantine's line, Theodosius I, was the last emperor to rule over a unified Roman Empire. The western part of the empire suffered from repeated invasions from Germanic tribes from the north. These are often called the barbarian invasions because the Romans called the invaders and other foreigners barbarians. When Theodosius died in 395, Rome split into the Eastern and Western empires. The Eastern Empire, with its capital at Byzantium, was known as the Byzantine Empire. So why was the Roman Empire divided into 2 pieces? Basically, after the last emperor of the Roman Empire, Theodosius I, died, the eldest son, Flavius Arcadius, was made emperor of the East Roman Empire, while the younger son, Honorius, was made emperor of the West Roman Empire. The 395 AD formally marked the division of the Roman Empire.
So I'm gonna continue.
Yeah, you can continue.
So now we're gonna talk about the West Roman Empire and East Roman Empire. So products of they are products of the division of the Roman Empire. So Roman Empire covered most part of Europe, North Africa, and part of Asia. In 285 AD, Emperor Diocletian decided that the Roman Empire was too big to rule effectively. He couldn't manage the outer province effectively. So the Roman Empire was later divided into two parts. The Eastern Roman Empire and the Western Roman Empire. Over the next 100 years or so, Roman would be reunited, split into three parts, and split into two again. Finally, in 395, 395, I think this should be BC, but not AD, right? Oh yeah, it's AD, sorry. Uh, the the empire was split into two for good. The Western Empire was ruled by Rome, and Eastern Empire was ruled by Constantinople. So this is not exactly. This is I think like there's some mistake here because the correct saying is that the capital of Western Empire is Rome, and the capital of Eastern Empire was Constantinople. And so from this passage, we can actually see that it is not so actually before Theodosius the Great uh, grant uh, grant two parts of the Roman Empire to his two sons, the Roman Empire has already been divided into parts and reunited and divided and reunited. So it's already it was already very unstable. So we can see on the upper right, we can see the East Roman Empire's flag is a sort of double head eagle. But they have the same like symbol, I think, like P with X. So now we're gonna introduce the Roman Empire. So West Roman Empire didn't live a long life. Uh, it perished really soon. So the official name of the Western Roman Empire is the same as that of the Eastern Roman Empire, both of which use the name of Senatus Populus, called Romanus, meaning the Senate and Roman people. In 410 AD, the barbarians in the eyes of the Romans, the Germanic Visigoths, led by Alaric, entered Italy and besieged Rome. Um, so sorry. So besiege. What does besiege mean? Besiege basically means like they surrounded this city and quite, they're quite like forcing the Rome to surrender. And with the cooperation of the slaves in the city, the Germanic Visigoths opened the city gate and plundered it. And after that, they established the kingdom of Visigoths in the Western Roman Empire. And then in Africa, Genseric of Vandal, so Vandal is another ethnic group, attacked from Spain in 429, occupied Carthage, which we talked about before. It's a North African kingdom established in um, they occupied Carthage in 435 and established an independent country and a powerful navy in 439 sent a fleet to trade with him, and the kingdom of Vandal controlled most of the islands and coast in the western parts of the Mediterranean Sea. So plus the word vandalism, which means intentional destructions, like in today, actually comes from the Vandal people. So now we're going to talk about the fall of Western Roman Empire. So in 444, Attila, the leader of the Huns, which is an ethnic group, and the aliens of the Western Roman Empire prepared to attack the Visigoth kingdom. Because of the betrayal of West Roman Empire and the powerful Visigoth kingdom, Attila turned over and attacked Gaul, and the famous Battle of Salom broke out on both sides. So now the both sides means the West Roman Empire and Attila. Um, and although the Huns was defeated, Italy was directly attacked by Attila, and it was the Pope who saved Roman at the end of by begging. So Pope means the leader of Christianity. Um, and then in 468, uh, the the famous Battle of Coronet Peninsula broke out, and its military power of the military power of West Roman Empire was exhausted. And after years of war, the Western Roman Empire was so badly damaged that it was unable to launch large-scale battles and never recovered. And finally, in 476, Odoacer killed Orest, deposed Romulus Augustus, and made himself king of Italy, which also symbolized the fall of Western Roman Empire. Um, so this event is basically someone killed the political leader, and like this guy kind of made himself the king of the king of Italy. So the Western Roman Empire no longer belonged to this sort of lineage of royal family. And after 476, three parallel governments appeared, all of which claiming to be the Orthodox government of West Roman Empire. So Orthodox means the formal, like the only one that is correct. Okay, anyone continue?
The East Roman Empire. So the Eastern Roman Empire was originally the eastern half of the Roman Empire, and that advocated the Greek culture. So after the separation from the Western Roman Empire, it gradually developed into a country that's based on Greek culture and Greek language and the later Orthodox Church. And Greece was the core part of the Byzantine Empire that shaped the cultural identity of the modern Greece and spread that tradition to the Orthodox world. And later in 1620, Emperor Heraclius first replaced the Latin with Greek as the official language of the empire. And that made the East Roman Empire different from the ancient Rome and the West Roman Empire. So here's a fun fact. Why is it called Byzantine? So people still haven't agreed on this origin of the name, but there was one theory that Byzantine was used to be the name of a little city. And as an ancient Greek immigrant city, Byzantium was established in the 7th century in 330 AD. And the Roman Empire Constantine I carried out one large-scale expansion of Byzantium, and then they moved the capital of the empire here. So then they renamed it Constantinople, and after that, no one remembers the name Byzantine. And people of the East Roman Empire, they continued to call themselves the Eternal Rome, and the Rome rulers kept calling themselves Emperor of Rome. And that name Byzantine was finally put forward in the 1600s as a technical term. So in English, Byzantine, it describes exceptional complex things. And people probably want to use this term to commemorate the splendid and profound empire in the past. And the fall of the Byzantine Empire. So in 1204, the Constantinople, which was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, they were captured by the Fourth Crusade, and until it was recovered later in the 1261. On May 29th, 1453, the Ottoman Sultan Muhammad II led his army into Constantinople, and then the Byzantine Empire was officially destroyed. And that is the end.
Okay, thank you for watching and come back next week.